put too much seriousness to, success and failure, especially on the basketball court. If you take a shot, you can only do two things: make it or miss. That's how simple it is. That's what you try to get to your kids, so they're not afraid of that simple act. When I took that shot, whatever shot it was, in my mind, first of all, I'm thinking I'm gonna make it. Secondly, if I don't, okay, we can come back tomorrow, work hard, make sure that when I get in that situation again, I'm gonna make the shot. But you don't put the end of the world on that one particular event. And kids sometimes have a tendency to do that. So you as a parent, you have to simplify it as much as possible to show them that either way, I still love you if you miss that shot. I still think you're still a great basketball player.
Shoot your shot today. Who are you going to talk to? Who are you going to have a quality conversation with? What owner of an ugly property or an ugly situation are you going to call today for the first time ever and see if they're ready to sell their property? That's what this all comes down to. It's called lead generation. Just having quality conversations with distressed property owners. I'm telling you, that is the seed of your real estate journey. Quality conversations with distressed property owners. And when you do that, then it's time to convert those leads into actual deals. And that's what we're going to be talking about here at the first part of our show. But I want you to visualize this. This is the analogy. And this is something that I got from a guy named Cole Gordon. And I think that this is absolutely brilliant, right? Every property owner that you talk to that's in a distressed property situation is on Hell Island, okay? And they want to get to Heaven Island. And there's bridges across to get to Heaven Island. And listen, some of those bridges could be, I'll just list it with a real estate agent. Some of those bridges will be, I'm going to just hold out for a higher offer. Some of those bridges could be, I'm going to just, sit on this property for a while until the market goes up, right? And that's how they think that they're going to get across. But it's our job to break down all of those bridges in an effective and efficient way so that the last bridge standing is our offer. That's what we do. That's the skills that we develop. And by the way, what's the swimming sharks in the water underneath those bridges are objections. And all objections is questions that haven't been answered in the mind of the property owner. So think about it, visualize it. When you're having these conversations, what are the different bridges that they're building to try to go from Hell Island to Heaven Island? And how can you effectively communicate? Well, listen, if you just foreclose on the property, which will get you out of this situation, it's on your credit for 7 years. It's not good. You're not able to go and really, build up your credit score and build up your ability to purchase another property for a long time, right? If you're holding out for that offer that's way too high, but you can't make your payments, or your property is getting broken into all the time and it's getting worse and worse and worse, you're going to get less and less for your properties. So how do we get them from Hell Island to Heaven Island as effectively and efficiently as possible? That is the skill. That is the skill of conversion, and there's 3 steps to it. All right? There's 3 steps to it, and we're going to break it down here. Matt, pull it up, please. On the conversion side, right here in the middle, this is what we're talking about. This is why you're not closing as many deals as you should. This is going to add 10, 15, 20, 50 deals to your business this year if you follow these 3 steps. Number 1, you got to pre-qualify, guys. You have to pre-qualify. You have to understand the condition, the timeline, the motivation, and the price. Okay? Condition, timeline, motivation, price. That is so critical. It's so fundamental to your success, is to understand. Stop doing property research before you've talked to the property owner. It's just creative avoidance. Okay? You need to pull out this information from having a conversation with them. So when you think that you have a lead because you see, oh, I've got this vacant house that's down the street and I go by it all the time, that's a lead. No, it's not. A lead is somebody that you've had a quality conversation with and that you've pre-qualified. Pull up those 4 pillars for me, Matt. Condition, timeline, motivation, price. If you're on your phone, take a screenshot. If you are on a computer, take a picture of it with your phone. Whatever it is, it should be your screensaver on your phone. It's that important that you pre-qualify every single property every single time. All right. This is how you understand, is this person going to do business with me? Is this person somebody that is actually in a position where they're ready to leave Hell Island and they're ready to go to Heaven Island and they're ready to have a conversation with me? And I have to avoid all those sharks, all those objections that they have. I have to look at all the other bridges that they think that they have available to them and either educate them on why they're not a bridge or disqualify them because it is the right bridge for them to cross. If it's a beautiful house, they should put it on the market, right? If it's a situation where they can just re-rent the property and not have to sell it and that solves all their problem, great. But what we do is we go in there and we say, well, why don't you just list this property? Why don't you just re-rent this property? Everybody gets fearful of that. They're like, oh my gosh, if I suggest that to them, it's a novel idea. And then all of a sudden they won't do business with me. They won't accept my offer. How do I convince them, Brent? How do I convince them to take my offer? You don't. You destroy the other bridges. That's what you do if they are qualified. If a cash as is offer is appropriate for that property owner. And let me tell you a secret. It's not always the case. Sometimes they should list that property. Sometimes they should just sit on that property for a while till the market comes up. When you're having those conversations with the property owners and they say, well, I do want to sell this property. And you're like, okay, great. Well, tell me what's going on. Like, is it a situation where you can't keep up with the property? You can't afford it? Oh, no. We just want a bigger kitchen. We just want to downsize, right? Then their timeline is forever. There's no end in sight. They haven't made the decision that they're going to sell this property. They need to be at the point where they have made the decision they're going to sign the documents with the title company or closing attorney that will transfer the ownership of that property from them to somebody else. That's what we're looking for. Not only that, but we're looking for people that want to trade potential equity in their property for speed and convenience. One more graphic here, Matt. Can you pull that up? And here it is, guys. This is so critical that you understand this. Stop trying to fit everybody into the same box. If they want speed and convenience, that is your cash as is offer. If they want speed and price, that's when you can get creative or listed on the MLS. It's not convenient. It's not convenient for them to have their loan on the property in a sub-2 situation. It's not convenient for them to take payments over time for the most part, right? So you're looking for people that want to trade potential equity for speed and convenience. And we pre-qualify them based on the condition, timeline, motivation, price. Second step, critical, lead follow-up. Your lead follow-up has to be outstanding. It has to be unstoppable. It has to be, people have to look at you and they're like, oh my gosh, you are the greatest lead follow-up master of all time. No lead squeaks past you. You are incredible. You're following up with them. And guys, you don't need a fancy CRM. And please do not automate this process. Please do not automate this process. If you automate this process, people like me in your market are going to beat you like a drum, because we're going to actually care about what the property owner is saying to us. And we're going to actually build a real relationship and trust with them that you can't get from just automated sequences. It doesn't matter how good of a writer you are. It doesn't matter if you want to use a chat, AI, or whatever else. It's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense to try to automate this. Just take the 30 seconds. That's the average time that it takes. Take 30 seconds to reach out to that property owner and see if they're ready, see what's going on in their life, build more rapport, build more of a relationship with them so that the trust is there. Because when they want to trade that equity for speed and convenience, you're their person. You're their professional. You're the one that's going to come in and you're going to get them from Hell Island to Heaven Island. Okay? So critical. And lead follow-up, listen, guys, just do it. It's so important. The reason people have a problem with lead follow-up is because they don't want to lose leads, because they feel comforted by leads. That that doesn't get you paid, and that's a waste of time. But the other thing is you're not pulling the timelines out of them. You're not asking if-then questions. If this can happen, then are you ready to sell it right now? Right? If I can help you move out all your stuff from the property because you live out of state and your property's filled with a bunch of personal property and memories that you have, then if I could get that all out to you and organize that whole thing, then are you ready to move forward now? Right? Remove all of those objections. Remove all of those harpoon, all of those sharks that are just stopping them from crossing, and that makes it apprehensive for them to leave their little hell island and go to heaven island. Okay? And the last one is your offer presentation. And the offer presentation, guys, isn't some slick presentation where you go in and you're like, have this incredible PowerPoint on like an iPad, and you're like, look at all the benefits of working with me. Look at everything that'll happen to you in your life. This is a picture. I just photoshopped a picture of you on the beach with a big smile on your face because you're so happy that you don't have to deal with this rental property anymore. It's not that. It's the natural progression of pre-qualifying and lead follow-up. It's a natural progression of destroying all those other bridges, and you're crossing that bridge with a purchase agreement. You're going in and making sure that you understand what their goal is for that property. You're going in there and you're getting advanced agreements before you even go to that house. And you say, when I come over, and everything is the way that we spoke about it. The price, we agreed on the price. We agreed on the terms of when you wanted to close and get your money. Is there anything stopping us from moving forward with the agreement when I come over there tomorrow at noon? Is there anybody else that needs to be there to sign? Anybody else there that needs to okay this purchase? Right? Pull out all of those things before you go on the appointment, and you will close more deals. The reason why you're not closing deals is because you're not pre-qualifying 100% of the properties 100% of the time. You're not doing effective lead follow-up, and your offer presentation is garbage. You're just sending people offers in the mail or email, or showing up and you're wearing like basketball shorts and a tank top, or a beat up old moth-eaten hoodie or something. Be a professional. Go over there and get them locked up. Get them so committed to crossing your bridge from Hell Island to Heaven Island that they feel unbelievable about it. They don't have seller's remorse. They have seller's pride. They have pride that they made a great decision. When you get people to that point where they have pride in the decision that they've made, you are a rhino. You are unstoppable. You are charging full steam ahead, and your business is going to explode. 100%. That's where you want them. You want them to have that pride of working with you. And you do that by building the trust. You do that by working with people that'll actually do business with you and not wasting time. That'll do business with people that won't do business with you, or they're not treating you right, or they're just not. They're just never going to make a decision. They're just stringing you along. Doing your lead follow-up, making sure you're in front of them, making sure that you communicate effectively, making sure that it's you, genuinely, authentically you, reaching out to them with certainty and likability. Those two powerful words when it comes to converting a lead into a signed agreement, and you are set. Really focus on those this month. And obviously you have to do the lead follow-up. I mean, that's the engine. The lead generation, that's the engine of your business. But this middle part is the real skills. The middle part is where this is the difference between people that build 7-figure businesses and people that do $7,000 deals once. And they talk about it at barbecues for 2 years, right? So that's what it is. All right. So welcome, guys, to the Wholesaling Inc. live show. I encourage you all to join the community at Wholesaling Inc. on our Facebook group. Also, Wholesaling Inc. podcast. We come out with an unbelievable wholesaling podcast every single day. And the show is built One, for you to squat up in the comments section. So make sure that you are connecting in the comments section. Make sure you're letting everybody know where you live and do business. We want to answer all your questions and dissolve all of the challenges that you're going through. We want to celebrate you. We want to celebrate your successes. All right. We want, and fourth, we want to give you the tools to go out and implement, because learning is not just so that you can have knowledge. Learning is so that you can take action. And that's who really makes it in this business. And that's all you rhinos out there charging. All you thick-skinned, focused rhinos charging after the goal. And you can only go after one goal at a time. So stop chasing 2 rabbits. You can only catch one. So focus on going out and finding incredible discounted properties. Wholesale all of them for your first 12 months. Build. First, do your first deal. Step 1. Step 2, go into this business full time. Get out of your 9-to-5. Fire your boss forever. Step 3, build a predictable business that can run without you. That's what we're talking about. So, as always, I'm joined by the incredible Mike Mahoney and Alejandra Merch. And we are ready to open this up, guys. It's going to be a shorter show. We usually go 90 minutes. We're going to go 60 minutes because I am on the Bigger Pockets podcast right after this. So it's going to be absolutely incredible. Anyway, Roz, starting us off. How do you do a lead follow-up if you're doing virtually and cannot go physically? Most of this business is phone work, is done on the phone. I mean, you can do this business with a computer and a phone anywhere. Countless rhinos are doing that across the country. Right? Across the world. I mean, I interviewed David out of Nigeria, absolutely crushing. Dimitri out of Belgium, 200 deals a year. Like, you just have to, you got to be really good. Your skills have to be really good on the phone, and you need to squat up with somebody that can be boots on the ground. Mm-hmm. And so lead follow-up isn't going and knocking on the door and being like, hey, it's me. What's up? What are you doing today? It's like Tuesday afternoon. I was just in the neighborhood. I just wanted to see what's going on. Margie. I'm like, why are you here? I'm doing my makeup or hair, or I'm watching my shows, or I'm smoking this cigarette, or whatever the hell they're doing. You're interrupting their day that way. Just call them. Just call them up. Have a conversation. And then have somebody that's really phenomenal, boots on the ground. And if you need somebody to present your offer, you can certainly get a mobile notary. You get a mobile notary to go to the house after you've done all the phone work, or you get on a Zoom with people and you get all the advanced agreements, and then you get them on the phone, and you get them in front of the mobile notary, and you get it signed.
Dude, it's amazing how many people in our community are doing this overseas. Yeah. But they wholesale here in the States, but they do it all via telephone and computer in other parts of the world. Really cool.
Well, listen, Billy Bell. Yeah. I mean, Billy Bell, my former acquisition manager, makes $700,000 to $800,000 a year. He travels 200 days out of the year, and everything's done by his phone and computer. I mean, absolutely incredible. Daniel. I mean, he hasn't, and he's wholesaling in Phoenix. He lives in California. Well, he literally lives on a sailboat half the year in Croatia and in Colombia, and so. Guys, you do not have to be in physically on all of those appointments. You can do all of this over the phone.
Dude, look at this. Stephanie Hunt says she is a master lead follow-up.
Oh, yeah. Stephanie is, for sure. Smokey, how do I keep consistency? I keep burning out. That's really interesting. You know, I think that burnout really comes when you feel like you're not advancing. So I would have to know more about your business there, Smokey. By the way, Matt, you crushed this background. This is just awesome. If you guys like this background, let us know. Because Matt I think he did a great job. But, Smokey, listen, here's the thing. Oftentimes we feel burnout because we have too many leads that won't convert. Because you're not going to get burnt out if all of a sudden you're closing 3, 5, 10 deals a month and making $100,000 a month. You're not going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't handle all this money. It's just too much work. You know what I mean? You get burnt out because you're probably spending too much time with people that'll never do business with you. So I would have a hard audit right now on every lead that you have. And if they haven't made the decision, truly made the decision they're going to sell, get rid of them now. I would even go so far, if you really want to get gangster with it, and I did this the first couple years, if they weren't ready to sign a contract in 30 days, I completely trashed them. I got rid of them. Because you find what you're looking for. So I wanted to look for people. I needed money now. I needed people that were going to do business now. So I was like, if they're not going to, like, if I can't get paid on this deal in the next month, like, I don't know how I'm going to pay rent. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I needed to find things right away. And I ended up doing that. And it's amazing what happens when you you only look for people that'll sign an agreement in the next 30 days.
I'd say also, part of the cure for burnout is plugging into a community, seriously plugging in and, getting a mentor who will keep you accountable.
Yeah. Well, listen, I mean, if you're on an island by yourself, it gets real lonely.
Yeah.
I mean, it just does. There's a lot of island metaphors today, but whatever. Vincent, Coach, 2023 is game time. You know it. Can you give us a locker room small speech before going there and killing it?
This will be good.
Vincent, I feel like I do that on the start of every single one of these shows, but I will tell you this. I will tell you without a doubt that everybody on here, Vincent, has a different brain. Yep. Okay? If you have a job, you're an entrepreneur stuck in this box. You're stuck in there. You're just, whether it be just because you have responsibilities, you have kids, you have bills, you have other things going on. You started down that path before you really knew, how to be an entrepreneur, before you even discovered wholesaling. But now that you've discovered it, you have to find 20 hours. And you find that 20 hours, you cannot lose. You have quality conversations with distressed property owners. You cannot lose. And in 2023, it is the best time to get into this of all time over the last 5 years. I mean, I've been doing this since 2013, so it's been 10 years. There's never been a market like this. I'm just telling you, all the people that were kind of fly by night that were just jumping into this because they searched how to make money fast and jumped into this and just thought that they can lock up deals and sell them and it would go, are gone. Only the people with skills are left. And you're here on this channel. Right? You're here during the show. So now it's just you have the ball. Go score. Just go. Sprint as fast as you can. And what I will tell you this, if you stay focused for a consistent year and you make sure that you put in at least 20 hours into this business, 15 of which will be towards lead generation. Matt, will you find in the archives the perfect schedule for part-time? And if you're part-time, full-time, just go bananas. I mean, you should just be on the phone all day long. But if you get on the phone and you start calling every single ugly property, you will win every time. You cannot lose. You cannot lose. 15 hours lead generation, 1 hour practice and role play. That's what you do with your homies. 1 hour lead follow-up, 1 hour driving for dollars, and 2 hours on appointments. And if you don't have appointments, you're doing more driving for dollars, more lead follow-up, or more lead generation. You don't need a budget for this. You could literally go on the streets, right, Mike? You could go on the streets. You could find an ugly house. You could go to True People Finder right now, get the phone numbers and call them.
Also for Vicente, and what's exciting about 2023 is when the market kind of changes, right? Like it has, right? It weeds out anybody who's not serious.
Yeah.
So the people that are serious can really kick some butt.
Yep. You got this, brother. Everybody's got it. Abraham, hey, Brent, when first calling a list, what is a good opening line that doesn't sound like a pitch? Hi, I'm looking for Abraham. If you really want to see it in action, Abraham, I highly suggest you join us on Super Saturday, this Saturday. We are going live. I'm making calls. Luke Rotfold, the best cold caller in the country, is making calls for 3 hours Saturday with a bunch of people. And so you want to hear it and then implement it. And if you go to that TTP day, we've got how many trainings, 2 trainings that they're going to get before it even starts on what list to pull, how to pull the list, how to get the phone number, accurate phone numbers, putting them into the dialer, the whole thing. So make sure that you sign up for that now. There is limited amount of room that we can have. There's capacity for these things. And so make sure that you're in there and you show up and you block it out. It's at noon Eastern time to 3 Eastern time. And it's Super Saturday. And we're just going to call sellers, not leads. Saturday. We're just going to call like people we've never talked to before. Ooh. And I'll open it up. And I literally open it up. Hi, I'm looking for Mike. I'm looking for Alejandra. I'm looking for whoever. You want to sound like a neighbor. And so, and it comes down to, using your voice, using your tone of voice as your body language is so powerful. I'm going to show you how to do that.
Is that same for pre-foreclosures?
What's that?
Is that the same for pre-foreclosures?
Yes. Unlimited dreams. Yeah. How would you open a call with pre-foreclosures? First of all, here's the thing. Most pre-foreclosures will never answer. They are getting dozens of calls every day, and they just get caller fatigue, and they're in a rough situation, and they're embarrassed, and they're trying to figure it out, and they got to go to their job, and they got to pick up their kids, and they got to go through whatever things they're going through, right? And so it's probably best to knock on those doors if you can, or mail them. But you can certainly try calling them. You might be able to get a hold of them, but it's the same. You don't want them to be on the defense and put up their force field bubble around themselves by being like, hey, yeah, so my computer, you came up as you're not making your payments, huh? Tell me about that. I mean, that's not the best approach, and it really lacks empathy. You know what I mean?
Wait, so that's not good.
No, it's not good. So just ask about their name. No, I mean, just say, hey, I'm looking for it. And by the way, all guys, wholesalinginc.com, in the academy, you can get all of the downloads for the scripts. You can get all the downloads for the lead forms so that you can make sure that you're getting all of the pillars for pre-qualifying. You can print it right out on your computer. You can get downloads on how to find the best cash buyers, all those things at wholesalinginc.com. And you can go straight to the academy on this link here. You can just, I think there's probably a link below the show as well.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah. JPO, anybody else wish they had Brent Daniels as their high school student counselor? Thank you for all your motivation, guys. Yeah, thank you. Listen, there's people in high school making calls right now, crushing it.
That's true.
I mean, there's 17-year-olds going bananas. I mean, Carter Libis started, he was in Prescott, Arizona. He made $100,000 his first 18 months, just making calls after he got out of his high school class.
Can you imagine if we'd have figured this out in high school?
Well, we wouldn't have.
Holy moly.
These kids are way smarter. We were way too goofy.
That's true.
Yeah, we were way too goofy. So, but yeah, I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, I didn't even know I wanted to be an entrepreneur right out of high school. You know what I mean? And people that have found it now, and there's so much information that it's just incredible. And you can have all the information, but if you don't have community and you don't have, or if you don't have if you don't have people around you doing this thing, and you're not squatting up and you're not having accountability, it's really rough. Bubbly. I love listening to Brent. His energy is magnetic, and I always feel like I can run through walls after listening. Yes,
Kerpow.
We should be running through walls. Emotional walls.
Rhino emoji.
No, I don't know. I don't know if they're emotional walls, but there's a lot of limited beliefs that we have to crush through for sure. You really want to run through a wall, Bobby?
Rejection.
Get a $50K deal. Have a $50,000 plus wire hit your bank account, and watch all these crazy thoughts that you have about money melt away. And literally, it is one call with this thing away. This thing right here. This is I'm telling you, this thing, ugly houses, and you give me a name, address, phone number for any ugly house, and I can make it happen. I'm telling you, I just know it. I know it to the core. Talking to 45,000 property owners myself, you can recognize when it's a lead. You can recognize if they're really in pain. You can recognize, how you can help serve them, or if you can't, and tell them what the best options are for them. And it's just phenomenal. I was looking back, Mike and Alejandra, on my old laptop. I had the results from 2013 to 2017.
Yep.
Every deal that I've done.
Yep.
When it started and when it hit. And I'm telling you, when you see those big ones, that was like every like 8th one or 10th one, it was like 30,000, 40,000, 39,000, 73,000. I mean, I remember those as milestones in my world. And that's what allowed me to hire an attorney and pay off that judgment and settle that judgment that I had. It's just, this business is so incredible. This business is just so giving. This business is so accessible. I mean, we had this conversation this morning. What other business can you go into with just your cell phone and have the opportunity to have a conversation that's going to make you 10,000, let alone 20, 50, 70, 100, 170,000 on a deal that we've done.
Without going to school for like some great big degree,
of course,
or building some great big business within a year or 3 years or 5, build a high 6-figure, 7-figure business. It's bonkers. And that's life-changing money.
Yep.
Do
we have any celebrations so far?
Are
people being shy?
Should we ring the bell?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, you guys. Let's do
it. Guys, we need, oh my gosh, Alan breaking us out. Just got my first deal in contract last Wednesday, sub-2 deal. Help the seller with a no-win situation, paying agent commissions, closing costs only, trying to sell for $25K a wholesale fee. Here we go, Alan. Come on. You know what's beautiful about this, Alan? What's beautiful about this is you are smart enough to understand not to take on that deal and put it into your portfolio until you build your foundation. Okay? It is so critical, guys. Listen, I want you to own 1,000 doors. I want you to flip a bazillion properties. I want you to lend money and develop and to do all of those things. You want to get there faster? Get to that, those 2 perfect words in our real estate world of passive income. Build a business that is the marketing engine for you to find the best deals. It's called building a wholesale business. You build that up to a 7-figure business that runs without you. First of all, you should be netting between $30,000 and $50,000 passively a month from that business into your lifestyle. Okay? And then you get to cherry pick all the best deals. So you're not buying a property that's in Nowheresville that has no economy, that's not going to appreciate. You're going to put money into this property. There's going to be a cash flow. Yeah, there'll be cash flow that's going to all be funneled back into fixing up that property because it was built in 1967 and it needs $5,000 to $8,000 a year in maintenance fees. That's the average. Don't get it twisted. That's the average. Plus, you're going to have a property manager take 10%. Plus, you're going to have to clean it up every time a tenant's in there. Stop. Build an unbelievable 7-figure wholesaling business and then cherry pick the best deals in the best economic markets that are going to appreciate. So then you really build wealth while you're sleeping and get incredible cash flow.
Kerpow.
You feel me? Well, I own 15 doors. Where? In Elephant's Toenails, Indiana. What? You know what I mean? Like, what are we talking about? That's bananas. Buy in really great areas. I say it every show, but I mean, it's like there's so much noise out there, Mike, about like just get deals and how many doors people are adding to their portfolio and all these things. And then I hear the real stories from all the people that have done it, and it's a total nightmare and they lose everything. And not only that, but it takes a lot of attention that should be going into growing their business, because I'm telling you, you put your full attention like a rhinoceros. That's why we have this thing here, because we charge forward. We build an unbelievable wholesaling business and we get passive cash flow from that. There it is. There's the rhino charging. And then you get to buy really good assets. Guys, don't get it twisted. Don't go out there and be seduced by adding doors and getting cash flow and all this other thing. Build this first and you're going to get way more cash flow, way faster, and it's going to be way better and long lasting and actually something that changes your family's life. And not just something that's a flash in the pan and you get to talk about, and then it turns into an absolute nightmare. And then you told everybody you owned all these doors, so you can't tell them it's a nightmare. So you got to hold it all inside. And then you get bitter about the real estate world. And I never want that for you. I want you to love this world. I want you to cuddle it. And I want you to just be around it. And I want you to slow dance with it. And I want you to love it forever. I want you to be soulmates as a real estate investor. Doesn't happen if you've got a dysfunctional relationship with your real estate portfolio. Jose, currently driving for dollars in Coachella. Nice. I got my first deal last October and then had a slowdown. Getting back in the game this week. Let's get it. That's a celebration, Jose. Come on.
Come on, Jose.
That is awesome. Jose, if you have a chance, put in why you had a slowdown. Marlana sent in 4 offers of 10 today. 4 offers of 10 today. Okay. 2 out of the 10 so far are no. Send in 4 offers of 10. Okay. 2 out of the 10 so far are no. 80% I still have a chance to get a yes. Ask questions. Why are they selling? And what will they do if they don't? These help you. Absolutely. Well, first of all, let me celebrate you because you were taking action. I don't care if you are wearing that silly, goofy nose. It's hilarious. First of all, here we go.
Unless that's her real nose.
Well, if that is her real nose, I'm sorry. I don't. Yeah,
smells pretty good.
I bet she can smell everything.
Smell.
If a great question to ask, open-ended. If you don't remember, guys, you should put on a 3x5 card, if then, and carry it everywhere. I'm telling you, it's one of the most powerful ways to really have a conversation open up, but you don't have to do it to where it's like, slimy. You know what I mean? You just don't if then. You have to really be curious. And I'm telling you, if you're kind and confident and curious, you win. But here's the deal. When you ask somebody, if they can't sell this property for this price, what's your plan? What is your plan with the property? And then you can mind read them a little bit. You can mind read them. You can be like, if you don't sell this property, what's your plan with it? Are you just going to rent it out again? Are you going to fix it up yourself? Are you going to put it on the market? Right? All those bridges from Hell Island to Heaven Island. I love that analogy. It is so good.
You're running with it.
It is. I am going to run with it. I'm going to run it into the ground. All right. Starting with little marketing money, what would you suggest I start with? My market is not good for driving for dollars. Is it a rural market? Is that why it's not good? Is it really spread out? I need to know why it wouldn't be, because that's where 80% of people get their first deals is driving for dollars. So I'm real curious on why that is. But if not, then I would go for tired landlords, which we will pull that list. So make sure that you register for ttpday.com. I'll show you exactly how to pull that list perfectly.
Oh, we getting excited for that?
I'm getting excited for that. Super Saturday?
Come on.
Super Saturday. We're going to be making calls.
We got to find you
having fun.
We got to find you some gnarly lists.
Oh yeah,
to be calling on.
Yeah, I want to call the craziest lists. It doesn't matter. Name, address, phone number. We're going to have fun with it. I mean, I hope people I hope there's some people bitching me out, and I hope that we have some good conversations. It's going to be a mixed bag. It's going to be fine.
That's
the grumpiest ones.
It's the best.
I swear, whenever there's a grumpy call and we put it on social media, everybody's like, "Yeah, that's the most.
That's the funnest part of the whole thing.
It is.
By the way, Marlana says it's not her real nose, so that's good.
Oh, good. All right, Marlana. Wow, we were worried for a second there. Then it's hilarious. Anyway, name, address, phone number, and we're rocking and rolling. We're going to have a lot of fun. And again, it goes back to, and if you weren't here for the opening shot, the TikTok with Michael Jordan, he's saying, the world doesn't end if you miss a shot. You just keep practicing and taking the shots. You keep practicing and taking the shots. You keep practicing and taking the shots. It only ends if you miss or have a bad conversation, then all of a sudden you shut it down forever, which happens. It really does. We get scared. We feel like what happens in our brain psychologically when people are mad and reject us is we feel like we're getting kicked out of the tribe. That's like our old school brain thinks that. So the people that can overcome that and have that thick rhino skin win, because they're going to go on with their life. They're going to move on with their life. They're not going to think about you. You know what I mean? You really want to be sad. It should be the people that actually know you that reject you. Then you got some self-work to do. But a stranger that you can talk to a lot of them and find the people that will actually do business with you. That's what you want to focus on. If you focus on the people that you're going to find through this filter, right? The people that filter through that actually do business with you, that you can actually serve them, that's where you put your focus, not on the people that you can't. Get rid of those people. Forget about those people. And it takes time. I'm not gonna tell you that it's easy, but it takes time. And that's why I say you should talk to 1,000 people before you hire anybody. Because a lot of people want to hire VAs right out the gate to make the calls for them, but then you lack the skills of building up that endurance and that thick skin, which is really important as an entrepreneur. Because if anybody tells you being an entrepreneur is easy, it's not. But it's a lot more fun when you do it with friends, and it's a lot more fun when you can build a thick skin and understand things aren't personal. You know what I mean? Like everybody's going to die. I mean, that sounds really cryptic, but everybody's going to die. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like, let's live our life and go towards our goals. And the people that don't want to work with us, we got to get out of there. Great. It's not the right fit. So let's find the right people. Let's find the right fit. All right. Alan, my man. Good to see you. These guys are crushing. Young guys here in Phoenix.
Come on.
Every time I see these guys, a huge smile on their face.
Yeah.
I'm taking action. I ask everybody, how's business? What are you doing? What are you doing to be proactive? And they are just absolutely going bananas.
Dude, good attitudes are the best.
Yeah. Good attitudes are the best. You're right. You're right. Brent, we are having a conversion issue. We have a bunch of leads that are direct to seller here in Arizona. We doubled down and are not seeing a return. What advice would you give? That's great. First of all, you have too many leads. You have way too many leads. Well, first of all, you don't have leads. You have people in there that you think will sell, but they don't want to work with you. So get rid of them. What I would do, Alan, again, I would audit it. I'd get rid of any lead that's not a hot lead, that's not going to sign a contract in the next 30 days, and just refresh. And just focus on the people that are the closest. Here's the stats. 20,000 purchase agreements are signed every day in the United States. 20,000. 20,000 purchase contracts are signed in the United States. All right. And so there's plenty of people selling their properties. Plenty of people selling their properties every single day. I think in Arizona, the closing, we do 100,000 sales in Maricopa County a year. What's that divided by 365? Something like 2,000 sales every day.
I'll tell you right now.
You know what I mean? Like, it's absolutely incredible. So there's people that are going to sell out, and just get in front of them. You're overloaded. You've got molasses on your business because you have too many leads.
Thanks to math, that's 273 a day.
Not 2,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
One extra zero. 240 people a day sell their properties. And if you do 2 deals a month in Phoenix, I mean, you've got a $400,000 business minimum. You do 5 deals. I mean, come on. You do 10 deals. Hey, yo. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. It's a conversion issue, probably because you're too bogged down. It's either you're not pre-qualifying, you're not doing your lead follow-up effectively enough, or your offer presentation is weak. It's one of those 3. We have 800 seller leads. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, of course, bro. Your lead generation is bananas. I guarantee. Alan, how many VAs do you have?
Also, how
many texts are you sending out?
Yeah.
Because they're not pre-qualifying. So if you're going to have people call for you, you need to train them on how to pre-qualify before they get to you.
And I think the number, like Ryan, your acquisition manager, at any given time, he's not managing any more than 20, 25 leads?
Maximum.
Maybe?
Maximum.
You know, hot leads?
Yep. Yeah.
Did you reply? Sorry.
That's great. So Alan, just if you're getting all you're getting all those leads because you've got VAs out there that are sending in junk.
And also got to better define a lead, like 800 leads. I mean, that's just way too many, right?
Yeah, that have
You know,
raised their
you're-
hands. That's just
it's like
people that said they want an offer.
Your hot leads are like, okay, let's go in the next 30 days or less. Your warm leads, let's go in the foreseeable future when something specific happens. If it doesn't fit either of those two criteria, it's not a lead.
Yep.
Right.
Alan is brave here for saying this because a lot of people think it's all you always have to grow. And you should be, but there's a smarter way to do it, Alan, and it's called do bigger deals. It's not about bigger teams and do it. Because if you want to do more deals in Arizona, in these major markets, it's about doing bigger deals and not more deals. And that's how you get real nice profitability. And that makes your business a jet ski and not a cruise ship. Because a jet ski can bounce around the waters when it gets turbulent. You know what I mean? And can turn around and figure things out. Cruise ship, it takes a while to turn that thing around. So stay lean, keep it small, keep it all. You could build a $2 million business. Most we've done is 1.7, so I won't say that. So $1.7 million business for 4 people.
Got to focus on your lead gen.
Yeah.
And you got, I think, skill stack, especially with sales. Yeah. You know, check out Todd Toback.
And I would also have one of you guys be the junior acquisition and somebody be the acquisition. Somebody's warming up the leads and disqualifying. The other one is focusing 100% on whoever's the better closer focuses on the hottest leads.
Who's generating the leads for him? Who's he got generating leads?
I'm sure he's got VAs. I think they've got a bunch of VAs.
We don't know.
Yeah.
He didn't post.
Got it.
Candace, hey all, I have a question. Direct mail seems to be the best strategy when you have a limited time, but how many would you advise to send on a limited budget? That's great, Candace. And listen, this is I was taught this when I joined Wholesaling Inc. with Tom Kroll in 2016. It was all, send out postcards. But there's a couple things here. In major markets, you need to make sure that you're very, very, very specific on what you send. And what I would do is I would do deal machine driving for dollars, either out in the streets or virtually. Again, guys, you could do this whole business with a computer and a phone. But I would do, if you do virtual driving for dollars, I would set the automatic mailers to go out. It's all ballpoint marketing, which is like the creme de la creme. That's really good marketing by Ryan Dossey, who's incredible and a good friend of the Rhino tribe. And it sends out automatically these postcards. Sends it out. And so it makes it really easy. Now, what I would say, Candace, is make sure that you have a business phone number on there, and make sure that if that number rings on your phone, you answer it. If you can't, you're going to have to let it go to voicemail. And you can set up a number at callrail.com. So you can get like a number from CallRail that they call that number. It'll call your phone and say new lead, right? And so you're like, oh my gosh, this is a lead. It's not like some random number, so you don't answer it. And it'll have your own personal professional voicemail message. If you miss it, you can have those messages transcribed. I think it's like 10 cents for transcribing that. And then you have to get back to them as soon as possible. I mean, if you don't call them back as soon as possible, that's the issue with marketing, Candace, is when they call you and you can't answer, they're going to call somebody else.
Also with direct mail, you got to make sure your list is really tight.
Real tight.
Because otherwise you wind up wasting a lot of money. So Brent, I'm curious, with direct mail, would you focus on, if you're in a big market, would you focus on like a farm, kind of like agents do, like a small area, or would you just get out of the bigger markets, go into a smaller market? And in either case, would you do like a 1-2 punch where you mail them, then get their phone numbers and call them, that kind of stuff?
Yeah. I mean, I think the more specific you get, it just depends. Like our response rate for direct mail at its height, at the best,
in Phoenix,
was 1/3 of 1%, not 3%, 1/3 of 1%.
See, like I don't think direct mail is a budget friendly strategy in big markets like Phoenix, right? But it can be, I think, in some of these smaller areas.
It can to get you started. Here's the thing: you can send out some mail and get a deal or two throughout the year. It's just you can't build a whole company on it.
Got to be consistent.
Well, you can, but it just depends on profitability. So here, it's like $15,000 to do one deal from direct mail. That's how much it costs. But you could spend $20 and somebody calls you and you get a deal. That's like the seductive nature of marketing, right? It's like you never know. You could get that call, but it's not how you build a consistent
limited
business.
budget. That's just luck.
Yeah, it's luck.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. But if it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
It's better than, listen, if you're not going to get on the phone and make calls, if you're not going to text anybody, if you're not going to door knock, if you're not going to have a website and do pay-per-click, direct mail is the best bet, I think. I mean, it's not going to be consistent and it might take a while, but it's at least doing something. And doing something is always better than nothing. Santiago, Brent, there are many different gurus saying that presenting yourself as a cash buyer is unethical when you don't have the money to buy the property. What are your thoughts on this? I 100% agree, Santiago. You can't. I mean, it's literally fraud. You can't go into a contract as a cash buyer and not be able to have the ability to purchase that. The beautiful thing is hard money lenders are typically 80 to 90%. Okay. That means that you only have to find somebody that has 10 to 20% that would back you in essence to close that deal. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so squat up with somebody that is in your market that closes deals and say, listen, if I find this deal, will you partner with me? They will say yes. They'll have all the connections. Does that mean that you buy that property? No. Does that mean you have the ability to buy that property? Yes. I 100% agree with that. I do. People don't. People just start throwing out offers and canceling because there's typically not really anybody going after it, right? There's not like somebody like slapping hands and putting fines on you or getting, too crazy. But they could. And I always felt, so I went and Mike and I know this. We raised money from a guy named Jim Youre, and he had sold his construction business and he had a bunch of money and he gave us, I don't know what, $1 million, something like that. And a couple $1 million. And we went out and we felt unbelievable about having that money. We're doing some flips before everything like burnt to the ground in the economy, but we were doing some flips and we felt confident on everything because we felt like we had millions of dollars in the bank because we did.
Yeah.
But it wasn't our money. It wasn't in our bank account. We still had to get permission. We still had to go to him and say, hey, what do you think about this deal? He still had to sign off on it and do some due diligence and make sure that, we weren't getting over our skis. But it was literally like our buddy's uncle. I mean, our buddy's grandpa.
It built up to that. We would split the profits 50-50.
Yeah.
He would absorb the losses, but we would take the profits 50-50. It was a good deal.
Yeah.
We started with a little bit of money, as you got comfy cozy and we were doing more deals, we got more money, and that's kind of how it works.
Yeah, but I totally agree with that, Santiago. You can find somebody right now. You could do it today. You could probably find him in the chat that would be able to close on him. Listen, there's hard money lenders in town that'll give 100%. 100%. Now it's at 18% interest, but if you have that in your back pocket, one, that certainty that we talk about with making offers is so much higher. It's so much better. That certainty is way off the charts, and that likability, it just comes, and you add that to likability and you're really powerful. A lot of people won't take action because you're like, what happens? What happens if I offer on this and I can't do the deal or whatever else? So don't put yourself in that position. Literally just have a conversation with somebody that's doing the business and say, if I find every day I'm proactive, I'm looking for deals. If I find one, will you partner with me?
Last question.
De Niro.
I
love you guys so much. Thank you for being on here. What a great show. I mean, what a great show today. De Niro, Brent, I remember your MAO, max allowable offer formula, was 84% of ARV minus repairs. Yeah, it's 70%, De Niro. Back to the old school. The 70%, the one that I bagged on for 4 years. I mean, I really hammered it.
Things change.
I really hammered it for years and years and years because people were stuck at 70% because they thought it was the same, percentage as, the early 2000s or mid 2000s. But the fact was the market was going bananas. So you could offer more and people were getting beat out on offers. So I was really like, don't use 0.7. It's bananas. It's outdated. It's back to that. So I apologize, whoever came up with that, for all of the shade I threw at you for years. But we're back to 70%, and it's great. 70% minus repairs is where your wholesale price should be. Subtract what you want to make out of that, and you're rocking and rolling. That's it, guys. Come on in. On behalf of Mike, and where's Matt? Where's Daniel? Come here. And Alejandra, and Matt, and Daniel. We love you guys. Wish us luck. We're on the Bigger Pockets podcast for the first time. It's very exciting. I woke up at 4 a.m. this morning, just ran. I was just, woo, let's do this thing. That's a huge honor to be on there. And I'm gonna go bananas. And so check that out when it comes out. And remember, keep your house clean, right? Your physical house for sure. Knock it off, clean up, do the dishes, put your clothes away, get everything tidy, tidy space, tidy mind. Keep that mind tight, right? Keep your house clean. Be around amazing people. Protect your health and increase your value to the world, and you'll live a fantastic life. I'll see you guys next week. Love you. Boom!